All right, guys, what I want to do is just go into some more detail of actually how to use a tire plug kit. So here's really what I think, again, and I've made a comment before on one of my short videos, but to me, I think everyone should have in their vehicles a small mini air compressor. Again, they make some now that are much more compact even than this. You should also have a tire plug kit. With it, what you need to make sure is you've got the plug tool, you've got the plugs themselves, you've got an additional adhesive or sealant here that they call the rubber cement, and you also have your reaming tool. Also, you might have a pair of pliers also to go in there in your vehicle as well. But I think everyone should have these in each one of their vehicles. Just the purchase of these alone can be paid for in one plug by yourself versus having to take it to a garage, or maybe you end up having to call AAA or a wrecker service or somewhere on the side of the road to help you. So what I'm going to do is go over more detail of actually how to do this. And to me, part of it takes a little bit of prep. And I think why I say that is just trying to ensure success. So let's say I've got a nail, I don't right now, but let's say I've got a nail here in the tire. That's where I'm saying that, for example, maybe a pair of pliers would be helpful to have also with your kit. With that, before I go and pull that nail out, maybe I've been alerted to it, I could hear it hissing, I'm getting a low tire pressure warning or what have you. I've been able to locate it, and I now know that I have like a nail or something sticking in my tire that can be plugged. Not something that's a gross, massive tear or slice, but an actual hole, such as a nail or a screw. Now, what I like to do is to go ahead and take the plug itself, feed it through the plug tool, and the way this tool works is you can see that it's got this little opening that it slides and feeds down through, and then it has a tight compression or a tight squeeze fit down here at the bottom, but it's actually open. And what that does is, so I've got the plug through here, and then it's super tight, and the idea is when I go to pull this tool back out of the tire, it allows it to separate and allows that to stay in and crimp and plug the hole. So it's not a solid piece. But what I like to do, and just to make sure that I'm minimizing my air that I'm losing during actual plugging, is I'll go ahead and feed the plug through, go ahead and apply the cement. At that point then, I'll go ahead and use the pliers, pull out the nail, and that's where you use your reaming tool. And it's kind of just a roughed up scoring surface, and what you'll do is run that down into the hole and feed that through the hole several times, rotating it, trying to go ahead, and what it does is, I'll say rough up, but it prepares the surface of the tire to be able to receive and better seal with the plug. And so what I do with it though is I'll go ahead and run it down through and work it around several times and make sure that you got it good and roughed up good. And then I'll leave that in there until I'm going ahead and I'm all the way ready with this tool to go in. Again, what I'm doing is helping to seal off that hole and minimizing air loss. If you want, you can consider going ahead and running your compressor while you're doing this to try to offset some of the air that you're dumping out. But then what you do, the sealant's already on here, you go ahead and run this down in, and you want to run this plug in to where it's about halfway to 3/4 of the way down into the tire. And at that point, what you're going to do is then pull it back out. Now, what I have done in the past is went ahead and kind of squeezed on both sides of the plug and help to keep it down in the tire as I pull that up out. But if you have enough down in, it should bind up on itself to separate the gap here and allow it to pop out. What you can do, then do is go ahead and verify whether it's with water, a little bit of spit, make sure and rub on it, make sure that you got a good seal, it's not bubbling, or maybe it's good enough to get you to wherever you need to go ahead and get a more permanent repair or maybe a tire replacement. At that point, what you can also do with those pliers, if it's got the ends that can snip as well, is go ahead and trim it off flush with the tire, and then you should be good to go. With that, you also have your air compressor to where you can go ahead and reinflate the tire and put it back up to some type of safe travel air pressure. And then like I said, that's really all you need. It's very straightforward, very simple. These are very inexpensive. But what I want to share with you, and one of the things that I ran into is, I stopped at a gas station when I had an issue prior to having everything. And what they offered was the plugs, but they didn't offer the tools on being able to actually do it. And then I was at another gas station and they had the tools, but they didn't have the plugs. So at that point, a friend of mine ended up helping me out, and I said, okay, so I end up buying kits now to keep in my vehicles, and I have it all now. And like this here, I just saw the other day at Walmart, and I picked them up. So, guys, if you get a chance, check these out, and it should help save you on the side of the road. If you guys would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.